What's going on, guys? Juan, Pablo here. We have Vinny Chopra and we have Kenny Conwell as well. All right, just having talking business over some lunch right now. So we were talking with Vinny. So Vinny, he's a multifamily real estate investor, but he didn't always start that way, right? Many people think, oh, if he made it, he must have came from wealth. Oh, if he made it, he must be a Harvard graduate or Ivy League education, right? They have all these misconceptions, right?
Right.
But without further ado, Vinny, do you mind sharing your story? How you got started to where you are now?
I would love to, Juan. Thank you, Kenny, for joining today here for lunch and at one of our properties. You know, it's exciting.
One of your properties. How many units?
Oh, this is 267 units.
267 units, and we want to do another video when we walk out.
Okay.
You see all the renovations that are happening, so it's amazing to be a part of this. But go ahead, Vinny.
Sure. You know, actually, I came from India. I'm a mechanical engineer. Came to USA, land of opportunity, with $7 in my pocket. And I was at George Washington. I asked my friend, he says, hey, what you doing for summer? I said, I don't know. I just came from India. I couldn't really speak that well, you know, the thick accent, it still is. A lot of people can't understand me still, you know, but they said, you know, hey, we're going to sell books, encyclopedias and Bible books. You want to come? I said, okay, I'll go. So we went to Nashville, Tennessee, and then they sent us to Austell, Georgia. We are sitting
right now, right?
Right here.
How many years ago was that?
This is 40 years back.
Jeez.
Wow.
40 years back. 40 years back.
So from $7 to 200, how many units?
This is 267 units.
From $7 to 267 units later. Plus, we have 1,000.
Plus, we have 3,100 total units.
3,100.
Yeah, 3,100. 26 syndications we have done, and then we bought 191 units close by here also. So we bought 458 units total, this and that one. But essentially, I got dropped in the morning in the neighborhood here in Austell because I didn't have a car, I didn't have a bicycle, I didn't have nothing. So my tour leader will drop me and pick me up. Like 8 o'clock, he'll drop me with my sales case, and I'll go door to door knocking, door to door knocking, literally in shorts. You know, because summer months, right? And then they'll pick me up at 9:30 at night. So we had to work 80 hours a week. I still remember that.
Wow.
And you know, I mean, that was hard work, but it taught me a lot of lessons, rejection and everything, slamming of doors, and you know, all that stuff.
And I think that's powerful too, is overcoming that fear of rejection.
Yeah.
'Cause I have a lot of real estate investing students who want to get started, but they just fear, what if they say no to seller financing?
Oh my gosh, it's just amazing.
Or what if my partner that I'm trying to pitch on invest with me says no as well?
You know, it's amazing. The fears are really, they cripple us. They cripple us, you know. You got to break through the fear. And that's the name of the game, you know. And then I think one of the nice lady in Mableton gave me a bicycle. She says, you mean you were walking all day long? So she gave me the bicycle without any pay and fee. But then I got hit by a car too. I remember, and that didn't stop me. You know, I got it a little bit scratched or whatever. And then, guess what? The best thing was Moni Kilpatrick, maybe somebody might know, and she had a preschools over here in Austell, Georgia. And she bought 7 sets of children books. Because we sold Nave's Topical Bible, cookbook, and children book, and home religious library Bible book, all that. So she bought 7. So this is now towards the end of the summer. And she says, Vinny, oh my gosh, how are you going to deliver all these books? You're going to carry on your back? She said, you see this van over here? I'm going to give you this van for 2 weeks. What? This really literally happened. And she celebrated my birthday. I still have the cufflinks. After 42 years, I still wear her cufflinks. That was the gift from her. You know, I think she passed away because I saw her about 15 years back. So this is 40 years back, but I saw her 15 or 20 years back because I have family who lives here, you know, in Alpharetta. So I came, you know, and all that. But anyway, but she gave me the van without knowing anything, or no license or anything, no money. She said, I'm not going to charge you nothing. You know, so they're great people out here, you know. And then I went to Douglasville and sold books over there also. But that was first summer. I think I saved $1,700 in 3 months, you know, which you pay for your own expenses and everything, 80 hours a week. second summer, I go back again at it. I liked it. I said, okay, that was kind of not bad. So then I went to Pulaski, Virginia, near Blacksburg University, and I sold second summer there. Third summer, my last summer at George Washington University, I sold in Aiken, South Carolina. That's when I made the most money. I made $17,000.
So a lot of southern.
$17,000. I still remember in 3 months.
Bible Belt.
Yeah, Bible Belt, Augusta, Georgia. I sold books like crazy. James Brown.
My family.
James Brown right there. Went to his house too in Augusta, Georgia.
So how'd you get into real estate, Vinny?
Okay, real estate actually, we've been buying single family homes all our life. I mean, when we moved to California 38 years back, my wife and I, we have been married 38 years. And then we have 2 children now, Neil and Monica. But when we moved to California, a lot of people were talking about real estate. We said, real estate, okay, all right. So then we started buying single family homes. Every time we could save money, we'll buy another one, like that. But then in 2004, I became a broker, California broker. So then we were going to open up a shop, and we put $5,000-10,000 into it. Then we pulled the plug. We were not going to sign the lease. That's how it was. And I said, okay, I'm going to look for something better than, selling homes. And that's when I came across multifamily 14 years back. 14 years back. And it just caught my attention. My being engineer, I just always think things through very quickly. I make decisions quickly. I act on it. I even remember spending $10,000 going to Vancouver for a luxury home seminar. I came back to my wife. I said, you know what? I lost $10,000. Let's just throw it away because we're not going to do it. It's not going to work, So I always have kept with things that will progress me further, even if I lose money, So I left that out. Then I found out a mentor who was #1 in 2004, David Lindahl. David Lindahl is the guy. $21 millions. I bought his 2 books.
Bill Hammond is a student of his as
You
well.
got it. That's right. I'm on his wall of fame. If you go to Boston, I'm one of his best students. Actually, very, very creative students, and who has done Excel very well. But then that's when I bought his course for $300. I didn't have money. So $300 on eBay, I bought the course. Then I learned it for 2 years. And I started underwriting and everything. Then I saw Dave Lindahl in 2004, 4 years later. But by that time, I knew everything about multifamily. And rest is history. Then we just started buying 14 units, 109 units, 76, 132, 126. And now we bought almost 2,400 in just 2 years.
Wow.
Just 2 years.
What was that mind shift from single family to multifamily? What sparked that?
What really made sense to me, Juan, was if we had so many scattered homes, different property management companies, and they were gouging, when they were doing repairs, and then if some tenant leaves, it's 100% vacant, and then they were charging leasing to, and we were losing 2-3 months in the way. But when somebody told me about 20 units under one roof or 100 units under one roof, that just made sense to me. I said, oh my gosh, I can have one full-time manager there. I can have one, maintenance guy, and that can take care of the whole thing.
So economies of scale.
Economies of scale. Instead of writing 20 different contracts for transactions, getting 20 different loans, I can get one loan and take care of it, economies and convenience and everything. That got me started.
And also partnerships too, right?
Partnerships.
It's sexier.
It's much sexier, for sure, because you got so many, the revenues are increasing, see, because 20 or 100 units, you are multiplying the revenues. That's when I started having my own accounting department and everything, full-time people, accounts payable, all that, investor relations, vice presidents, all that in the company.
So Vinny, you're pretty much big time where you're at now in your life. What would you say to that small time person, just getting started, may have a few rentals under the belt, that's just needs that one piece of advice to go to the next level like
I would say the sooner you can get into multifamily, I mean, that should have happened yesterday, to be truthful, I'm telling you. Because when I say multifamily, like 4-plex, 6-plex, 8-plex, 12-plex, 20-plex, 20 units, and then 50 and 100. Now I'm looking for 400 units, see? Somebody who started with only just duplexes, now buying 400 units. So it's possible. You can scale it up. The best thing I'd tell anybody who's listening to me or watching me is to do syndication. Syndication is the word, and you could just say syndication word to 474747, and you'll come into my team, and then we'll be able to give you.
Look at him.
Put it right there, little plug, Just text the word syndication to 474747. You'll be in the door. No, but the thing is, you got to look for OPM, other people's money. See, I'm rich, but I'm not that rich. But my friends they have their own companies. They are doctors, attorneys, they are entrepreneurs, they are physicists, they are pharmacists, they are like surgeons.
Huh?
I mean, they have so much money in their retirement funds. So self-directed IRA, 401ks, all of them. So to pool the money together is so important. Because if you can pull the money together, and I can teach you how, right away, because the elevator pitches and all the presentations, because that's where the key happens. Once you start giving those investors the returns, it's going to mushroom, which I have done from 0 investor to 130 investors now. I have 130, and I can raise about 8 to 10 million in about a week or 2 weeks. Because I give it out and just give it to them, and they're coming in with 100, 200, 400. I've got in the fund 700. One family's coming with 7, few are coming with 5 and all that stuff. But the biggest thing I'd like to tell anybody listening to me, if you believe me, what I've done in the last 3 years, this company, Monil, is only 3 years old. So we have 67 employees in Monil in 3 years. In my other company, we had 52 employees, with the Ideal Investment. That's my other company, which we are kind of trimming it down now, because we sold 10 assets already. Out of the 14, 4 more are on sale also, Kenny, So that's what, The key thing is you got to keep focus. Don't get into, I want to do this or that. Just keep your one focus, multifamily. And the best thing is, the millennials, the biggest population in USA, they like portability. They want to live in apartments, B-class apartments. For accessibility, portability, they can move around. Seniors, they are downsizing. And then the immigrants who are also going into apartments. So there is a pent-up demand for next 35 years. Every statistic says that. Pent-up demand for apartments in the next 35 to 50 years. And with all the robots coming and the wireless and driverless Ubers coming, all that, it's going to become so important that we are into smaller dwellings. And there'll be so much changes.
They're doing that driverless Uber in the market I invest in, Pittsburgh.
Look at that. Wow, really?
Yeah, if you go to Pittsburgh, East Liberty, you'll see the cars that just have an antenna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're experimenting in that market.
Oh, my gosh, look at that.
Yeah,
so
emerging market.
Things are going to change. A lot of people are not going to buy, cars anymore. These parking lots, which we got the spiral parking lots.
Storage.
Yeah, they're going to be becoming condominiums. They're going to become apartments. They're going to be new wave of apartments where these spiral parking lots will be converted into apartments. Because otherwise, how are they going to demolish, and then what, it's going to become very, very different. This world is going to change in 15 years. 15 years.
So I have one last question for you, Vinny. So you said, hey, yesterday you should have made that move from single family to multifamily.
Yeah.
But what about that person who's a bit more pessimistic or realist that says, well, I don't see it, because how can I get access to capital to invest in a 14 unit, 109 unit, 1,000 unit apartment building? Well, where do I come across these private money lenders? What would be your answer to that individual?
I would say, first of all, educate yourself. I mean, the thing is, you could find all the reasons why something will not work, right? Always, our mentality is like that. We look for the negatives, we look for rejections. All the news is all negative out there. You got to look for positive. You got to look for research and find a coach or mentor like me or somebody who can teach you very quickly why and how to present it to your investors. The other thing is you got to start with your circle of influence, your family, your parents, your relatives, your friends. They believe in you. But more you know about the knowledge and show them this is where other people are doing in multifamily. That's the reason why there is less risk and there is more demand, and how we could add value to it. So if you can get a 4-plex or 8-plex and 10-plex, maybe get a mentor, get a partner who has a little high net worth, because you can get a loan on their behalf, co-sign, and you could give them part of the equity. You can get started. First deal is the hardest deal.
Yeah.
Second, third, fourth, fifth. Like I started doing 26 syndications later. It just went easier. And that's what will happen for everybody that's looking at me. Because the thing is, you got to just decide, hey, I'm going to take action. I'm going to find money around me. I'm going to find the broker. I'm going to find the property. I'm going to go around the neighborhood, look the ugliest, multifamily, 4-plex, 8-plex, ugliest, which has got grown grass and everything. Find the place and you call the, seller and give them a very off-market bid, very down deep, and then negotiate. So the key thing is negotiation. But the big thing is you got to get the people to say, hey, I believe in you. You show me all these things here. I didn't know. So you got to educate your investors and let the brokers believe in you also. That's the big part. How do you find it? Go on LoopNet. Find out the brokers who are selling 4-plex, 6-plex, 8-plex, 12-plex. Just write a small pitch. Copy and paste. I've done it. I just go to any area and I just copy and paste to 20 brokers and let's see who replies back. And then I just follow up with them. So I've got great techniques in my courses if you like to know about it at a very minimum cost. Syndication 101. Money's out there, how to get it. And once you start giving investors their returns, they will flock around you. They'll tell everybody. Like I didn't have a website for 10 years, almost 8 years, and all my investors, 130 came from people telling other people, and I only have met them, 28 of them out of 130. I've only talked to them on the phone or FaceTime them or like that, but belly to belly, I've seen only 28.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Smiles Chopra.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Vinny.
Thank you, Juan.
Vinny and Kenny and I have been working with him extensively in regards to helping him get to that next level, which is bringing his message to the masses.
Thank you.
So stay tuned.
Thank you so much.